Well, somebody who did stay cool, calm, and collected throughout Fallen. He is joining us up here on the desk. Thank you so much for your time, Fallen. First of all, huge congratulations. What is going through your head right now, making it to the Legend stage again?
I'm so happy, so happy. Happy because we qualified for another major as Legends. It means a lot to us, a lot to prove. It's not easy getting the team back together after so many years. FNX didn't play since 2017, basically. And, I mean, we're so happy about it.
Listen, buddy, a lot of people, including myself, when I saw this lineup come together, thought to myself, that's a cool lineup for a lot of other reasons than playing on the server. I thought to myself that it was going to be too hard. You said it yourself here, FNX hasn't played since 2017. Boltz haven't really found much success. Fur coming back into it as well. How hard has it been for you guys to rediscover the level that you're showing right now? Because I said before, the way you're playing right now, you actually deserve to be where you're at.
Yeah, I mean, it's very difficult to try to add a lot of updates into some players' mind as fast as possible.
Sure.
Because the meta changed a little bit on some regards, right? People are playing off info so much, and all those guys are playing FPL all day, and they are trading information, they're trading CS knowledge between themselves. And I mean, our players, some of them 3 years off of that. So I mean, there's a lot to catch. And at the same time, you have to understand that it's impossible to throw everything at my players, expect them to learn before they try it, right? So it's a little bit frustrating because sometimes you want things to be faster, but at the same time, you have to give time to it. You have to play some games, lose some games, you know. You have to go through the process. And I came back to this team and came back to creating my team again like that just because I want to enjoy the process. And so far, it's been very pleasant.
Yeah,
I'm loving it.
You qualified for the Legend stage. I'm always mind blown by that. Be honest with me right here. You know, creating this team a couple of months ago, did you believe that would be possible already now, or had you your eyes set on the next major?
So the thing is, I know the kind of level we can play because of the practice. I know how good we can get, and today was a good demonstration of how good we can play. I think it's the best match we played so far, and I'm very proud of that. But at the same time, there's so much to go through in order to get there. You don't know which kind of mental state those players are going to come for a major game like that. But I mean, those guys, they're not times major champion for no reason, right? They know what they're doing.
Sure. Fallen, I want to ask, with your lineup, we've seen a couple kind of rebuild lineups come back. Several other sort of last dances. We saw the NIP guys reassemble on Dignitas. It had some mixed results. We see what EG's doing now with some of the old Cloud9 guys, also not having the best results. But why do you guys think you were able to recapture the fire and actually get this far and make it to top 16? What goes through the minds and the accountability process of all the guys that, like you said, FNX coming back? How is he in such decent form already?
Yeah, that's exactly what people are saying when we try to come back. Like, why would you go for something that never worked? And I mean, that's what being Brazilian is. That's what overcoming all the things that people say you can't do. That's being the best version of ourselves and making the impossible coming impossible, right? So yeah, everyone was saying that bringing back old lineups will never work. We have a HLTV thread about it. It's the first time they decided to do something about that was about us. So yeah, I got very pissed about it when I saw it because I was like, that's one of the biggest outlets out there, and I enjoy HLTV so much. I'm a big fan of their work since day one. You know, I haven't been there with them for so long. And they created a post about it. Like, why are they bringing a Last Dance together? And here is why.
Do you think that your lineup is more fueled by the attempt at glory or with spite?
What do I mean? Sorry?
Like with anger. Are you angry? Is anger fueling you, or do you just want to be the best again?
I mean, it's more about enjoying the pleasant of going through the process, honestly. Okay. Because when we tried to do that in 2015, it was quite the same. Like, we came from a region that had barely any chance to play against Europe and North America for so long, and we had to grind ourselves into matches, learn from every single game we played, and we made it work and became the best in the world for 2 years in a row. I'm not saying we're going to do that here, and of course that's the goal for every single team in the tournament. They want to be the best. We want to be the best too. But just enjoying the process like we did in 2015 and being able to reproduce some success, even if at this level, it already feels awesome.
Okay. Fallen, without hurting your feelings right here, I'm going to call you old because you've been around for a very long time.
I'm old.
You are old, right? Especially in this world, but you seem happy, right? You seem to enjoy the game again. I love when we're at majors. It's all about celebrating the game, celebrating the emotions. Are you more happy playing Counter-Strike now than you've been in a long time?
I'm very happy playing. It's a bit hard for me. I have a lot of back pain lately. Okay. My lower back is completely prejudiced from all the years playing. Yeah, I mean, when I started playing, we didn't have any gaming chairs. Like, we were playing on bar chairs, like all of those wide plastic chairs. So that's where I came from. And, you know, I never paid much attention to the way I would see it and all those things. When I started, people didn't want to even be a gamer. Like, you were just playing cyber coffees. Your mom would be saying, hey, stop doing nothing, like go to the school and those kinds of things. And nowadays, the landscape changed a lot. But I am the guy who experienced all this, and my back's suffering a lot of pain. I have been taking meds for the last 4 or 5 days. Every time a tournament is going to start, I have a lot of pain. So I'm working to strengthen and get better physically. But yeah, the age is there. It's not easy.
All right. Well, get well soon, man.
Fallen, I want to ask about sort of the landscape change, particularly at majors as well, because you've been through so many majors yourself with your teammates as well, so many different landscapes, different formats for the majors too. How does it compare now, coming into 2022, looking at so many more teams competing in majors? Can you kind of give us a few words for that?
I love the fact that the majors are still about being very global, involving all the regions. I think that cannot change. I understand the fact that a lot of people think Europe is the strongest region, and I agree. But if we start doing only Europe, those regions never going to have a chance to really come lights up. And for example, when I was playing 2006, 2009, there was a tournament called World Cyber Games, and it was the only tournament that would give a free spot to a Brazilian team to travel internationally. And that tournament basically set up the entire year for all teams. They're all playing because of it. So for the majors, for example, if we start removing spots from places, their scenes are going to die, just like happened in Brazil. So it's very important for the majors to stay like that. It was great to play against the Mongolian team, IHC. They had so much structure on their game. It was very hard. And I mean, they play better than Forze today.
Yeah, respect.
I mean, Fallen, just final words. FNX, 100% of the majors he's attended. So, again?
It's either FNX or BIT, right, from NAVI. One of them have to keep the status.
Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys going through the Legend stage. We're going to take a look at some of the results to round out the Challenger stage here at the PGL Antwerp Major. I kind of wanted to get your thoughts, Fallen, on this. Were you surprised to see Bad News Eagles taking down MRBL?
I mean, I think my BR is getting better and better with the news additions.
Yeah.
I think Shallow and Jota are very good players. I mean, they made their core very strong. Exit is a very good player too. And Wood and Turtle they're building up the team together. The fact that BIT, or BIT, the Brazilian one, came as a coach, I think is improving them strongly and fast. But I think it came out to the individual plays. And those BNE guys, like I say, they're playing FPL all day. I have played with a lot of those guys when I come to Europe. And they're good. They know what they're doing. They know their timings. They know their defensive plays. And I mean, I think Mayberry had chances, but I'm not impressed that BNI take it.
What about your ex-team, Liquid, taking down Astralis in that fashion they did it?
I met Keith Nafly before coming to this yesterday night. And I say, hey, we need to go through, man, both of us. And he was like, yeah, if you go through, I'm going to go through. And I said, but you're going to play first, so you have to win first. And then he got his win, and I was like, dude, he already did his part. Now I have to do mine. It wasn't easy. I'm very happy for them. I think I had a great time on Team Liquid, even though it was stressful at times, a lot of problems here and there, but problems are going to be everywhere. And what I took from Team Liquid was so much in terms of how they treated me and how much I had a chance to prove myself with international players. That was the first time I did it, basically, entire international team, and I'm so glad that they gave me this chance. So I love Team Liquid. I was cheering for them a lot.
Well, we can take a look at the 16 teams that are going to be gracing the stage at the Legend stage of the PGL Antwerp Major. Of course, this is where a hell of a lot more teams join the fray. Fallen, I mean, we've got so many names to be looking out for. The fact that we've got NAVI joining, FaZe, Furia as well, some Brazilian rivals there. Who are you? Anybody you're hoping to face? Anybody you want to be taken down?
At this point, we'll face anyone. It doesn't matter. Every single team is so hard. I mean, every single game is going to be a grind for us. Those are the best teams in the world. We're quite happy to be here. It would be fantastic to play any of them.
I always love asking the players themselves, right? Because you're on the server, you're the one practicing against these teams. Coming into the major, do you have a favorite? Do you think there's one team that is just significantly better than the rest?
I think FaZe is being able to not only have the strong firepower they have at the moment, but also being creative with some set of grenades that no one uses, some timings on smokes that the same person is throwing at the same time. So I think FaZe is a little bit on the next level regarding that. But that by itself might not win the major. Like, there's much more to win a tournament like that. They have to grow each game. You need a little bit of luck as well. It's not easy. So we'll see. I think FaZe are the favorites for sure.
This has been a contentious word lately, but do you have a dark horse that you think could maybe surprise a lot of people here?
Dark horse would be a team that
kind of like an underdog, but does have a real
not supposed
chance
to win, but has a real chance, right?
Yes.
I would say, game-wise, I would say ENCE. They have what it takes to win them, but I think mental-wise, they're not ready yet. So I think ENCE is on this process where they are shaping themselves emotionally to be able to win tournaments like this. But game-wise, I think ENCE could be winning this.
Okay, that's cool.
Well, we can
Good
take a look
insight.
at the schedule to see exactly who the teams will be facing going into day one of that Legend stage. Of course, that is going to be starting on Saturday. To start things off, we got Heroic taking on Liquid, NIP, Vitality, FaZe, NCC events can stand up to the big guns. NAVI G2, that is going to be a hella spicy one. For you, Fallen, you're going to be facing Big. How are you feeling about that?
I have been practicing Last Big a lot, and they're playing well. It's gonna be hard. Not too big, yeah.
Anything that you want to pick out, gentlemen? Any highlight matches for you going into that Legend stage? I mean, they're kind of all highlight games in their own right.
I mean, I think the A-Stream games, with all due respect to you, Fallen, right? Heroic going up against Team Liquid, that's a banger. NIP Vitality, that's a banger. FaZe against ENCE, that's a banger. NAVI taking on G2, that's also a very good game. And that's the cool thing about this stage of the major, right? There's no bad teams in this stage of the major. There's only good teams. There's only good teams left. And everyone who's here, right, deserves to be here. Either they played well during the RMR and qualified directly into becoming legends, or they had to go through a very tough tournament now to get in here.
Yeah, there's no bad matches. It's gonna be insane. You guys need to keep tuning in.
Sleeper game is Cloud9 Outsiders. That's a IEM Katowice
Oh, that's a slow game.
Grand Finals rematch.
Ooh.
Of course, that was online. But yeah,
Slightly different jerseys, different colors going on there as well. I
won't
think
even be able to recognize them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just so excited to be diving into this one. The fact that we're going to see the likes of NAVI for the first time here at the major, the likes of FaZe as well. I mean, the competition is only going to get even more banging going to this one, Pip.
It is. As I said, there's no bad teams left. There's no bad matchups. There's no one who's not deserving to be here. And I think we're going to see some more quality on the server as well. You know, during a tournament like this, the nerves have now settled. I'm sure you can attest to that as well. You now went through this process. I think the Counter-Strike you're going to be able to produce is only going to be better. You talk about growing into a tournament. I guess that's maybe an advantage for you guys as well, that you've had some time to play under these circumstances and now will be ready for it.
Oh, definitely. I think those matches that we played already shows a lot of progress for our team, even emotionally. Like, to be able to see FNX getting 4 kills like that in a pistol round. I mean, it's like I'm seeing 2016 out again. You know, like, it's insane. So yeah, there's a lot of progress going on already.
I actually have one more question I just want to throw at you before we let you go. Me and Mao, we talked about it in the group room. The way you play right now, I almost get flashback to 2015. It feels like you're playing the old version of Counter-Strike, the old meta of Counter-Strike. Some of the setups I'm seeing overpass A-long, where you have a guy by the tree and then you have a guy pushed up close. You saw the one pistol on Mirage as well, where you're baiting in CT spawn for FNX sitting on the side. I'm getting flashback to some like 2015, 16 setups. Are you taking some of that old meta and trying to integrate that again into modern days Counter-Strike?
Yeah, to be honest, I think the team who did that best is Gambit. Now players, right?
Yeah.
Not Cloud9, actually.
Yeah.
So Cloud9, those guys have been playing what we played in 2016 the entire last year. Everything I was seeing, it was so static and so perfect on all reactions that remember me from my teams a lot. So I think they were doing it the best last year. And I mean, it's kind of our style too. So it's very interesting when we play together because it matches a lot. And we have been practicing against them, great practice partners. So yeah, I think a little Counter-Strike is like that. Sometimes you bring back some stuff from the past because it might not be working for a few years, but then because something changed, now it kind of works again, you know? So yeah, and I mean, it's the style of the players because we have been used to play like that.
I mean, like FNX's spot at Ninja when he just gets the 4 pistol kills there on that pistol round. I mean, that's just an old setup too.
Yeah, basically what we said is we're gonna play 2A FNX. You pick your spot and you're gonna be baiting for
he
it.
just picked the same spot he played 6 years ago.
Yeah, he chose it.
And it's the best.
One final question for them. I absolutely promise. Scoring Londres, they were saying, you know, you celebrated after the RMR with champagne. Any celebrations on the cards tonight?
Last time we had champagne, it didn't go well for us because they were running no champagne this time.
Well, thank you, Fallen, so much for joining us.
getting old.
Chat with you. I'm so excited to see what you're going to be delivering in the Legends stage. Of course, we do have a day off tomorrow, but we're going to be back on Saturday with all those Legends matchups you do not want to miss out. We'll see you then.